The War Written in Ink, a werewolf story. Previous episodes are available on the playlist. You can also visit our website for your favorite stories. A link is provided in the video description. Episode 8. I asked Jackson to mind link Skyla and Ezra so I can say goodbye before we leave, but he just clears his throat and says they're busy. I'm going to act like they're busy with pack business. We listen to music on the way home in the car. One of my favorite Billie Eilish songs starts playing when we get to my neighborhood. My smile is so big that I look like a creepy clown ready to kill some kids. I start to move my shoulders to the music. Jackson showed that he was boyfriend material when he took a wrong turn in my neighborhood so I could finish listening to the song. He pulls into the driveway 3 minutes later. The lights inside the car start to fade when the sun goes down and it gets dark. When the music stops, the only sound is our breathing. The quiet doesn't bother me. I don't want to get out of the car because that means I have to leave Jackson. He leans over the center console of the car and looks at my face, which makes me think he's thinking the same thing. He probably has a better view of me in the dark than I do of him, which is unfair. He can use his wolf senses, but I can only use my human eyesight, which isn't always very good. The other day I had to squint to see how much Fruit Loops I was supposed to eat. Jackson breaks the silence by saying, "I don't want to let you out of this car." He starts to touch my cheek with his fingers, and I shiver at the light touch. "I don't want to get out of the car either," I say with a pout. He pulls down on my bottom lip with his thumb. He lets go of it just to kiss me while sucking on my bottom lip hard. The kiss was so strong that my stomach tingles, and when our lips part, I let out a loud sigh. I lick my lips and ask, "What was that for?" I liked it a lot better when he was the one who licked them. Don't tease me with your pretty pout and then not expect me to kiss you. Oh. If he reacts like this, I'll pout more often. I hope he can't see the pinkish tint on my cheeks, but I know him well enough to know he can. I don't want to, but I turn and reach for the door handle. I open the door a little bit, but then it closes again. I think it's clear who did it. Jackson, I laugh. I turn back around to see him leaning over me in the passenger seat. The street light shines on his face just enough for me to see the glimmer of his blue Jackson eyes. His face is only a few inches from mine. "Baby, I have to go inside now." When I call him by that name, his eyes light up. I don't think I've ever called him anything other than his full name and Jackson, but he seems to like it. Forget that. He must like it because I'm now sitting on top of him in the driver's seat. I don't know how this happened, but I'm not complaining. "Now you're definitely not going inside." His lips attack mine, and this time it's hard for me to keep up. He takes control of the kiss, and I let him. I pull away to catch my breath, but Jackson keeps kissing down my jaw and right over my mark, so he must need me more than air. When he bites it and a hickey starts to form, I pull away from him. "Stop bothering me. I love you, but I have to go home. My mom wants to spend time with me tonight." When he pouts, I kiss it away right away. He looks at me for a long time. I try to get inside our bond to feel his feelings so I can understand what he's thinking, but all I feel is love. "Why are you staring at me?" I ask, but he doesn't answer. Instead, he keeps looking at me, his eyes moving over every part of my face. I get really self-conscious after 10 seconds of silence. Jackson? Why are you staring at me? Is something come live with me? As soon as he said those words, everything I was going to say died on my lips. Live with him? Were we prepared for that? Do I even want to? That's a dumb question. Of course I want to. What about Mom? What about Maisie? And doesn't moving in mean I have to start acting like the Luna? Oh no, what if I have to drop out of school to become the Luna? I don't want to give up my dream of being a social worker who helps kids from families who are having a hard time so I can be the head of a werewolf pack. Could I do both? I don't know anything about werewolf culture, and I'm married to one. Come back to me, love. I can feel your panic. Just tell me what you're thinking. He looks worried, and his eyebrows are furrowed. His strong and capable hands run up and down my arms in a calming way, but I'm still freaking out inside. I can't move in with you, I say quietly, not looking him in the eye. I know that if I look at his perfect face, eyes, or anything else, he'll say something to make me think it's a good idea. And I really want to live with him. Living full-time at the pack house and waking up next to him every day is too good to be true. I have things to do here. I can't just go live with him. Why not? He says this in an angry voice that catches me off guard, and I get lost in his blue-black eyes. He grinds his teeth together like he does when he's trying to keep his cool, and I hate that I'm the reason he's losing it. Jackson, I'm only 18. I'm in my first year of college, and we just met a few months ago. For werewolves, it may be different, but in a human relationship, it would be highly unusual. Not to mention I have school and my job. And I have Maisie to babysit when my mom's working. She needs me around. The whole time I'm talking, my nails are running over his head. Oh, he says, and then he hugs me. He breathes in my scent as he puts his face in the crook of my neck. I thought you were freaking out because you didn't want to, or maybe the idea sounded terrible to you or something. I shout, "What?" and glare at him. I pull away from him and smack the side of his head. He backs away and looks at me like he can't believe I would even think about hurting an alpha. I can't help but be mad. Why would you think that? Jackson, you know how much I love you. Why would you think that? Do you really think I don't want to spend every moment I have with you? I mean, I'm at a loss for words. Isn't this boy aware that I'm crazy about him? I sometimes feel like he's more insecure than I am. Sorry, he mumbles, then smiles at me in an apologetic way. I sometimes wonder why the moon goddess would pair someone as perfect as you with someone as flawed as me. I'm too rough and crass for someone as delicate, beautiful, and sweet as you. When he becomes confident alpha, he grips my hips tightly. My Jackson is back. I don't care how it happened, but I'm thankful. I'm going to be the best friend you could ask for. We'll travel the world together, pick a place on the map and we'll go there. As soon as this coven stuff is over, I'll fly us wherever you want to go. We'll ride gondolas in Paris, go scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef, see the ancient ruins at Machu Picchu, stay in a bungalow in Bora Bora, or go to any castle or cathedral in the world. We'll get a snow globe from every place we visit so you'll never forget the memories we made there. You can have anything you want. I'm already crying at this point. It's hard to believe that I could see the world with him. It's also too sweet that he remembered that I like to collect snow globes. He wipes the happy tears from my eyes and kisses me with so much passion that I feel like I'm going to explode with love. I never knew that being in love could feel so all-consuming and strong. He goes on, as for moving in with me, age doesn't matter. Lots of people in the human world move in with their boyfriends or girlfriends in college. Even if it seems early for a human relationship, we are soul mates. Werewolves move in with their mates as soon as they meet them. There are a few exceptions, but that's our culture. I've been going at your pace, and we can keep doing that, but I can barely sleep when I'm not with you. I want to wake up to your bedhead every morning. I push his shoulders back, but he just smiles at me. I want to wake up to your beautiful hazel eyes. I want to kiss you whenever I want. I want to share a closet with you, have food fights, and cuddle with you. I want you all day long. That went from 0 to 100 really quickly. Don't worry about your mom and Maisie. I can help pick Maisie up from daycare some days. She can stay at the pack house. Your mom can come over whenever she wants, and you can still visit her all the time. You should know by now that I'd do anything for you. He must have read a book called The Sweetest Things to Tell Your Girlfriend so she falls even more in love with you. I nervously bite my lip and ask, what about werewolf stuff? That was another big reason why I didn't want to move in with him. I don't know what people will want from me. You mean Luna's duties? I slowly nod my head. Let's go one step at a time. Trust me, things will be a lot easier once this threat is gone. The pack is on edge because you're in danger, so everything seems very scary and strict. It's not usually like that. Everyone knows you're human, and they're all very understanding. You'll start to take on more responsibilities when you're ready. I took some time to think about the news. It's true that I don't usually know how the Blackthorn pack acts when they're not on high alert. I am used to pack guards following me, warlocks and witches teleporting, and vampire attacks. I might be able to handle it better when no one is trying to kill me all the time. It would be nice to live with Jackson in the pack house. I need to talk to my mom about the details, but I might be able to move in with him. Maybe, I say, and then I smile nervously. Maybe. What? I might move in with you, I say with more confidence. Okay, I'll take maybe, baby. Oh, what a poet. I laugh, and then I have a hard time getting out of the car. It was hard for me to crawl out of the car because I was sitting on his lap. With Jackson's help, I can safely land on my feet. He gets out of the car next to me and walks me to the door. I don't have much to say in response to all the romantic things he said in the car. The traveling he talked about and the buying me anything I want. It's too much. I know he has money, but I don't want him to think he has to do these things for me to have fun. I need to talk to him about the gesture later, but right now he looks so happy that I don't want to ruin the moment. Doesn't he know that I would be happy even if we lived in a shack? Talk to your mom about moving in, but remember that you're an adult and can make your own choices. Just do what you want to do. Yes, Alpha. I say with a smile as I salute him and pull out my house key. Hold on, he says. I put the key in the lock but don't turn it. I instead give Jackson a questioning look. I don't even have time to ask him what he wants before he kisses me again. His angelic but sinful lips will never get old for me. He whispers, "I love you," to me in between kisses. When I'm in his arms, the rest of the world disappears and it's just us. After a minute or two of kissing by my front door, he growls and pulls away. Sorry, Ezra's mind is on some pack business. I have to go. It's okay. I was supposed to be inside by now, but you're so obsessed with me that you just couldn't let me go, I say with a smirk. He rolls his eyes and kisses me on the head. More than you know, he mumbles. As he walks to his car, I can't help but think that this is the last normal thing I'll do for a while. It's only Wednesday tomorrow, but a lot can happen in a day. Last night, it was hard to fall asleep. I have a hard time falling asleep without Jackson on days when I spend a lot of time with him, which is most days. My self-hating brain tells me I'm just a needy girlfriend, but the more logical part of me knows that it could be a side effect of the mate bond. I don't know what happens when you mark and don't mate with werewolves, but maybe it just makes us want to be together more? I have to ask him for sure because not getting enough sleep is not okay. I appreciate my sleep so much more now that I've been through that whole sleeping spell nightmare. I crawled up the stairs and rolled myself up in my sheets, which are not as soft as Jackson's, after watching 2 movies with Mom. Seeing the ugly bags under my eyes makes me realize that what Jackson said last night was true. He wanted me to live with him. Live with him all the time. Oh my God! I really want to do it. The time is 7:15 a.m. This means I have a lot of time to kill before my 2 o'clock class with Skyla. I think today is a good day to try out some new makeup. I've never been very good at it, but after spending a lot of time with Natalie, I've learned a few things. Since I got a boyfriend, I've been paying more attention to what she says about her clothes, makeup, and hair. I hope I've learned something from her, but who knows? I messed up the wing liner twice, so I guess it's just not meant to be today. With some light glitter to make me look more alive, I end up with a lavender and violet smoky eye. I smile big at my reflection when I step back from the mirror. I don't look too bad. I put on a white crop top and mom jeans, and I'm going to wear a big, fluffy jacket over it when I go outside. Skyla made me buy this when we were at the mall because she said I have terrible taste. I put my hair in a cute, messy bun and ran down the stairs to make coffee. I need at least 3 cups to get through today. Mom is already downstairs with Maisie. I got up just in time for breakfast. I smile and shake my head when I see that Mom made heart and star-shaped chocolate chip pancakes with scrambled eggs on the side to get in our morning protein. She's a sucker for Maisie, but I'm not complaining because I get to enjoy them too. Good morning, honey. How did you sleep? My mom doesn't even look at me as she automatically grabs my favorite mug from the cabinet and starts making coffee for me. She is an angel. I guess that's fine, I mumble as I grab a plate and start to serve myself. Maisie giggles and says thank you when I tell her how pretty her butterfly hair clips are. What do you mean I guess? Mom asks, tilting her head slightly and looking at me with motherly concern. I take a big breath and think about how to be careful with this subject. Well, I got home late last night and we stayed up watching movies. I also had a hard time falling asleep. Oh no, honey. Are you having nightmares again? She puts her hand on my forehead right away to check if I have a fever. You know, I didn't say anything before, but you were up all night mumbling strange things. You looked really sick, but then after your sleepover with Skyla, she said with air quotes, you were miraculously better. Want to tell me what that was about? She doesn't say the question in a way that makes her sound like she's accusing someone, she just sounds curious. I really don't know what to say to her right now. When she brought up the nightmares, everything I had planned to say went out the window. I didn't even know she could tell how sick I was getting from not sleeping, but I guess she did and didn't say anything. I need to make something up fast. Okay. I might have stayed at Jackson's place those nights. Of course, Mom laughs. But I lift my hands. Being with Jackson helped with the nightmares, I said. That's so sweet, honey. Do you think you'll be spending more time over there? This is my chance. This is the best time for me to tell her about Jackson's offer. At first, she'll probably say no, but if you beg and make a deal, she might change her mind and say yes. I know I don't need her permission, but I really want it. I don't want to leave her alone like Dad did. He was never the best dad, but after he hit me and yelled at us, Mom had to leave him and move to another state. I don't know where he is now, and I hope I never have to see him again. I can't help but feel bad that my mom is all by herself. I wanted to fill the gap my father left. I know she hasn't moved on yet, but maybe she'll see how grown up I am when I leave the house. I can help Maisie when she needs me to. She might start dating again soon. But we aren't there yet. Maybe if I slowly tell her that I'm not going to live at home anymore, she'll start to think about what life will be like without me around as much. I take a deep breath and decide that now is the time. I was really thinking about spending a lot of time over there. Like, maybe all of my time. I bet I look constipated because of the way my face looks. My eyebrows are furrowed, my teeth are clenched, and my eyes are wide. My mom rolls her lips and blinks at me. We both just look at each other, not knowing what to do or say. My mom finally speaks up and asks a question. Do you really think it's too early for you to move in? When she says this, my heart sinks. I know that every little reason she has to doubt the move is one I've already thought about. I thought she would be hesitant at first, but it's still hard to hear. Maybe it seems early, but I want this. He makes me laugh, he's so sweet to me, and he's really protective. I know he'll take good care of me and we're not going to break up. I know that may sound crazy to you, but I know we're going to stay together forever. Maybe I'm a romantic, but I love him and I want to be with him all the time. And I'll still come a lot and take care of Maisie when you have work. Jackson even said he could pick her up sometimes. It can work. I just I need your support on this. My mom looks like she's not sure what to do. She looks at Maisie, who is eating pancakes with syrup and humming softly, not knowing how serious our conversation is. Then she gives me a sad smile. Sweetheart, would this make you happy? I didn't think she would say that at all. I thought she would say, "Wait a few more months or you don't know that you two won't break up," but instead, she asked me if this would make me happy. I nod my head a lot, and my eyes fill with tears. "Yes, Mom. It would." The tears of joy fall down my face when she smiles. I know I have the best mom ever because she hugs me so tightly. She put aside her bad history with men and let me choose what I wanted to do. She believes in me and is there for me, which means more to me than she'll ever know. We hug and cry in the middle of the kitchen until Maisie comes up and stops us. "Kala, why are you crying?" I quickly wipe away my tears and look at my mom. She knows what I'm thinking and starts to explain to Maisie what's going on. Mom kneels down next to Maisie's chair and straightens out the pink skirt that has sparkles on it. "Sweetie, Kala is just really happy. These are happy tears." Maisie looks at me, as if to say that Mom is telling the truth. I laugh and shake my head as I wipe away the last of my tears. I really hope my makeup doesn't get messed up. Maisie starts clapping her hands and bouncing up and down in her seat. "Why are you so happy? Are we getting a pony or a doggy?" I can feel the tears coming back, but this time for a different reason. I can feel my phone vibrating in my back pocket, and I'm sure it's Jackson checking in on me. He probably knows that I'm upset and wants to help me feel better. It makes me more sure that I want to live with him. No, I've made up my mind that I'm going to live with Jackson now. Maisie stops bouncing in her seat and makes a cute face of concentration by pouting her lip and tilting her head to one side. "But, all of your stuff is here." She looks completely lost, and I hate that I have to tell her that all of my stuff will be moving too. "Sweetheart," my mom says. "Kala is moving in with Jackson, so she'll take all of her things from here and take them to his house. She'll sleep there every night, but she'll still come back to visit and play with you all of the time." My mom tries to soften the news, but Maisie's eyes are already watering. I hate seeing her so upset, but she's too young to understand what Jackson and I are going through. I quickly bend down next to my mom and hug Maisie. Her soft whimpers make me feel like my chest is sinking. "Maisie, we'll see each other a lot. We can still color and watch movies together. We can play with dolls whenever you want, okay?" She holds on to the back of my shirt tighter as she clings to me. "I don't want you to go." I look to the side and see that my mom is just as upset as I am. I didn't even think about how Maisie would feel when I heard the news. I was just so happy that Mom said yes. Maisie must be sad, confused, and alone. But I'm not moving out today, so she will have time to get used to the idea. I think she'll come around once she sees that we'll still be together a lot. Maisie is crying on my shoulder, and I keep rubbing her back. I rock her back and forth and sing one of her favorite songs from Frozen until she joins in. When we sing "Let the Storm Rage On," we're belting out the notes and dancing around the kitchen. She isn't crying anymore, but I can tell by the time that she has to go to school soon. Maisie keeps jumping around the living room, pretending to have ice powers like Elise. "That was so fun, Kala. I wonder what she would do if she found out that magic was real and not just in her head." "Okay, Munchkin. It's time for school," my mom says with a smile as she picks up Maisie and puts her on her hip. I put the dirty dishes in the sink and started washing them while she picked up Maisie's bag. Wait. Are you leaving soon? Maisie looked sad again, so I took a deep breath and let it out slowly. 6-year-olds need a lot of care. I care about her, but she's too young to fully understand what's going on. My mom is nice enough to answer. Yes, she'll be home for dinner tonight. My mom looks at me in a way that makes it clear that I don't have a choice. And Jackson will be there too to talk about her moving in with him. That's new information for me. Just thinking about the interrogation that will happen tonight makes my palms sweat and get clammy. Where do you live, Jackson? And tell me more about this company you work at, she will ask. I'm really scared of all the questions that Jackson will have to come up with answers to make her happy. She'll probably ask him to show her his house, but what will she say when she sees that other people live there with him? She won't know how pack dynamics work, and that will make her very confused. The buzzing of my phone in my back pocket reminds me that Jackson and I will be able to work through all of this together. We're all in this together, and he'll know what to do. I quickly say yes to my mom about dinner and pull out my phone. You missed 2 calls and got 9 texts. As he gets more worried, they get worse and worse. Broody, are you okay? I can feel your sadness. Call me when you're bored. Broody, honey, what's wrong? Should I come? Broody, Kala, answer me. Broody, are you happy now? I don't get it. Broody, I understand your fear. What is going on? Broody, I'm coming over if you don't call me back. Broody, I don't like it when people don't pay attention to me. Broody, I'm outside now. That last text made my eyes pop out of their sockets. Not really, though. It's still crazy for him to drive all the way over here. He probably ran if he got here this quickly. The thought of a big black wolf sneaking through the suburbs makes me smile a little. I send him a quick text to tell him to hide as my sister and mom come out of the house. I don't get a text back, but I can only guess that he got it and is watching them leave the house. I say goodbye to Mom and Maisie as they drive away. As soon as their car turns the corner, Jackson is pretty much all around me. He hugs me like he hasn't seen me in years, but I saw him last night. A werewolf that clings. Why were you ignoring me? And why were you upset earlier? I couldn't figure you out because you kept going from happy to upset. You're very confusing. He grumbles his complaint while breathing in my scent to calm him down. His deep, rumbling voice is soothing to my ears, and I relax right away when he talks to me. I wasn't ignoring you, Jackson. I was talking to my mom and Maisie about the idea of moving in with you. He quickly backs up so he can see my face. He tries to read my mind by staring at my hazel eyes with his blue Jackson eyes. He can't do it because he holds on to my sides too tightly. And he has never reminded me of a puppy more than he does right now. He looks like a big, bad alpha right now because his tight black shirt stretches across his biceps and abs and his joggers show the outline of something. But his behavior is anything but. His big, hopeful eyes and stopped breathing make him look so innocent right now. I ended his suffering. And I was telling Maisie that even though I'm moving in with you, she'll still see me all the time when we play dolls and watch movies, and Jackson picks me up and spins me around in circles, and I scream. I hold on for dear life by wrapping my arms and legs around him. My heart is racing because I can feel Jackson's complete happiness through the bond. I feel like I'm in the sun and I'm happy. He finally stops spinning me, but he doesn't let me go. His hands move. He squeezes me lightly, which makes me let out a small surprised moan. My hips move forward on their own, which makes my center brush against his length. Blue eyes get bigger right away, and before I know it, we're kissing in my front yard. Not kissing, more like making out. I can't keep up with him because his lips are eating mine. He leans to the side and kisses her more deeply. The butterflies are all over my body as soon as his tongue touches my lips. My hands automatically grab his hair, and he crushes my body even more against his by moving his hands in just the right places. Even though I'm wearing clothes, I can feel the overwhelming warmth spreading through me as his hardening length rubs against my clit. I rub against him even more, and when Jackson growls back, I know he's feeling the same way I am. I don't even care if I look desperate because I know I am. He is as well. We need each other so badly that nothing will stop us. Well, nothing but my nosy neighbor. Calla Dalton. What are you doing with this guy? You two need to get a room. I feel bad as I look across the street and jump out of Jackson's arms. Ms. Diego, my nosy old neighbor from across the street, is standing in her ugly flower nightgown. I wave my hand quickly in her direction. Sorry, Ms. Diego. I was sort of humping Jackson in my driveway, but she shouldn't be such a grumpy old lady. She used to be young. Can't she just not be a biche? I grab Jackson's hand and grumble under my breath as I curse the woman who made me stop kissing him. Next time she asks me to water her plants, I'll conveniently forget. Let's see how she likes it. Jackson makes fun of how upset I am, which only makes me more angry. I let go of his hand when we got inside and crossed my arms over my chest. I give him a mean look, but all he does is try harder not to laugh. You still look like a kitten, kitten. He stalks toward me, and I scream in horror and run the other way. He grabs me right away and puts us on the couch. I somehow end up sitting on his lap. Don't be upset, baby. He kisses me on the lips for a second, and I give him a serious look. Now I feel a little better. Can I have another kiss? He leans in close and kisses me again, this time for a little longer, while he smirks at me. I sit still on his lap while he playfully looks into my eyes to see what I'm thinking. Better. I still feel a little bad, I say. He laughs and then finally kisses me for real, not the little sad kiss he gave me before. As we kiss, I let myself relax into his body. I lean my forehead against him when I finally come up for air. I know we need to stop unless we're going to do more. I can tell he could make me feel great because of the bulge in his pants, but not right now. We need to focus on the Coven attack that is going to happen tomorrow. We can't let him get even more possessive because we mated. We have to be smart. But there are times when I just want to be crazy. I start talking about something else to get my mind off of the hard thing that is brushing against my thigh. Your mom wants you to come over for dinner tonight. He clears his throat and raises an eyebrow. Really? Is this a test from my mom? If I fail, she won't let you move in with me. Basically, I say with a smile. He nods and pulls me close to him. Then I won't fail. Why does it seem like this dinner is going to go wrong? Jackson and I cuddle on the couch for a little longer, but then he tells me, with a sigh, that he has to keep training. After I scolded him for not doing his job, he said that no matter how busy he was, he would come to me whenever he felt my pain, fear, or sadness. That means I'll give him kisses all the time. I tell him what I'm worried about the plan Elise has made for tomorrow before he leaves. I'm just worried that you and the other pack members could get hurt while protecting me. I would be heartbroken if someone died in my place. Jackson says, no one's dying, and he holds me tighter. It seems like he's trying to convince himself that I won't get hurt. He is keeping me from going to work at cafe tomorrow, so I really don't see how I could be in danger. I worry about him. I whisper, promise me you'll be safe, with my forehead on his chest. As he breathes out, his chin rests on the top of my head. I promise, baby. You can't get rid of me. Good, I say with a smile and push him away. Now go do alpha things or something. I push him out the door and into the street. He lets me tell him what to do, but the more I try to get him to leave my house, the more he digs his heels into the ground. Ugh, you're so freaking heavy. Move, you big giant. I start pushing him away with my back, knowing that if I don't send him away, he might spend the whole day with me. I thought he was a big deal, alpha, but all he wanted to do was hang out with me. He needs to be working. I stop pushing him when he laughs loudly. I look at him with a glare. As I wait for him to leave, I cross my arms in front of me. I came here as a wolf, love. He seems to think I should get what he's trying to say. I just look at him. And? Bye, Wolfie. I wave my hand at him in a sarcastic way. He shrugs and grabs the bottom of his shirt. Okay, you asked for it. Jackson quickly takes off his shirt and throws it on the floor. I'm in a daze as I look at his chest and muscles, so many muscles. I can count the 8-pack on his abs because they are so well defined. When his very capable hands drop down to the waistband of his joggers, I run forward and grab his wrists right away so he doesn't decide to run through my neighborhood. I basically yell at him, "What the heck are you doing?" while giving him a wide-eyed look. He gives me that famous Jackson smirk that I love and hate at the same time, and I don't know how I feel about it right now. I can't move around in my clothes, Kala. They'll rip, and then I won't have anything to wear when I get back. I have to carry them in my mouth when I'm a wolf. He knows why I'm having trouble putting together a sentence right now, and he seems to be having a great time with it. He looks like a Greek god carved out of stone, with his shiny white teeth on full display as he stands in my driveway. I mumble, "That makes sense," as I turn around and walk right behind my house. I know he's following me, so I try to stay ahead of him so my red face can cool down. I feel safe by the time I get to the little patch of grass that I call my backyard. He suddenly turns me around, and before I can get my bearings, he's kissing me. I sigh into him and pull him closer by wrapping my arms around his neck. I take the lead and touch my tongue to his, which is different from how we usually kiss. This makes Jackson growl and pull my body even closer to his. He seems to like it when I take charge, but he likes it even more when he does. Soon, I'm trying to catch up as he bites my bottom lip and dives back into the kiss. I feel every inch of skin I can, and I'm glad his shirt is on the ground. I'm the worst Luna ever because I should be telling Jackson to leave, but instead I'm making him wait even longer. It takes a lot of work for the sense of duty to win over the desire, but I slowly pull away from him and take a step back. You should probably go back now. When he nods his head, his eyes are still wide open. I turn around to give him some space, even though he doesn't want it. He reaches for the waistband of his pants, but I don't hear any fabric moving, so I know he's not taking them off. He's not sure what to do. I turn around and am about to tell him to move when I see that his fists are clenched and his eyes are downcast. Everything okay? You're still a werewolf, right? I joke to break the tension, but his gaze is heavy on me. I don't want to scare you, he says in a voice so soft that I can barely hear it. Right now, with his hair covering one of his eyes and his shoulders hunched over, he looks very weak. I feel guilty right away. I wish I hadn't reacted the way I did when I saw his wolf. I just got attacked by a vampire, and I found out that I have a werewolf soulmate. It's my fault that he doesn't feel accepted. Baby, I say as I walk over to him. I hold his face in my hands and look into his eyes, which are bluer than Jackson's right now. I love you. That means I love all of you, even the wolf part. I was scared when I first saw it because I didn't know the supernatural existed. I thought you were going to eat me or something. I laugh when I think about it. He smiles slyly. I did want to eat you. He holds my hips and pulls me in so I can feel his hardness against my stomach. He leans in close so that his mouth is right next to my ear. And you taste great. His bold words make me shiver, and I can easily foresee a repeat of yesterday. But now is not the right time. I push him away gently and try to hide the pink color of my cheeks with my hair. It doesn't work. Seriously. At this rate, you'll never leave. I want to see you as a wolf. He pouts a little but does what he's told. I turn around when he reaches for his pants. He chuckles. I know I've seen it before, but it feels different this time. I hear a snapping sound coming from Jackson's direction, but I don't turn around until I feel a wet snout push against my arm. I let out a high-pitched scream that I didn't mean to. I turn around and see a wolf right in front of me. I knew he turned into one, of course. I've seen it happen, but it's still not something I'm used to. I'm not scared, but I'm still not sure if I want to touch him. As a light breeze blows in, his dark fur looks soft as it moves. The same pair of blue eyes meet mine, and I can tell that Jackson is nervous about being this way around me. I slowly reach out my hand, and I'm surprised when he lowers his head even more so that I can reach it more easily. He starts purring right away when I pet the top of his head. It sounds a lot like a sound he makes when he's human, but I know it might sound scary to other people. I kiss his furry forehead and smile at him. You're so cute, Jackson, I say, and he growls at me. Fine. I throw my hands up in fake fear. You're terrifying. You're the scariest thing on earth. Please, let me go. He makes a huffing sound by blowing air out of his nose. He doesn't think it's funny. He might be upset that I think he's cute and not scary, but he purrs when I touch him. I never had a pet like him. When he gets broody again, I might make him change into this form so he can't talk back to me. I wave goodbye to him and watch as he runs away from my backyard as fast as the vampire that first attacked me. I had no idea he could go that fast. He looked like a black blur until he went behind the trees. I'm sad that he's gone, but I go back inside my house and get ready for the rest of the day. I end up going to town a little earlier than I need to. One of the pack guards walks with me as soon as I leave. I'd seen him in the pack house before, but I didn't know what his name was. We started talking on my way to the cafe because I needed more coffee. After a few hours of sitting with the guard, whose name I learned is Jones, I go to the psychology building for my class with Skyla. I pull out one of my 20 pens and write down what I need to learn today. I can't bring myself to throw away any of the pens, so they just make noise in my backpack. Skyla pulls me out of class and walks me to a nearby bench when class is over. "Spill," he says. I say, "What?" because I'm not sure what he's talking about. "Is there something important I'm forgetting? You were playing with your fingers all class and bouncing your knee up and down like you were waiting for James Charles to post his new video." "Who is James?" "Okay, that's a problem for later," Skyla says dramatically, putting a hand over his heart. "Now tell me. What are you so worried about?" "I guess I'm a little worried about the attack that's supposed to happen tomorrow and the dinner tonight." I tell Skyla about the dinner and the talk I had with Jackson. Skyla pulls out a Store's Pop-Tart and starts eating it in the middle of my story. He nods his head up and down when I talk about the conversation I had with my mom. "Don't worry, Kala," Skyla says. He doesn't swallow before he speaks, and I really want to teach him some manners, but I also want to hear what he has to say. He keeps chewing loudly. "Trust us wolves, okay? Do you really think Jackson doesn't have a plan B? And a plan C? He's crazy about you, so you'll be fine. And this dinner? Jackson should be worried, not you." I guess it was dumb of me to think that Jackson was totally dependent on Felix and Elisa's plan. It makes sense because he's never trusted them. I hope it doesn't come to another plan. I have a feeling that his plan will lead to more deaths, which I want to avoid. I ask, "What are the other plans?" hoping that Skyla will forget who he's talking to and tell me. He just laughs at me, though. "Sorry, Jackson would kill me if I told you." Ezra wouldn't like that very much, so I think I'll keep my mouth shut. But since we have some free time, let's go shopping for an outfit that isn't as ugly as the rest of your clothes. I'm pulled to my feet and put in a car. I complained the whole time about how I just went to the mall with him. He sure acts like he can't hear me at all, even though he has super hearing. There are times when I hate him. We go to the mall in the afternoon. We go shopping, eat lunch, and then shop some more. Skyla let me go to the bookstore as a reward for spending so much time at the mall, so I bought 4 books. I'll gladly do what you say if this happens every time we go shopping. Skyla doesn't take me home, instead, he drives me to the pack house and says I can get ready with him and Jackson can drop me off. I agree. I'll send my mom a quick text to let her know we'll be there for dinner at 7. I put on the dress, and all of a sudden I wish I hadn't given in when Skyla told me to. It's nicer than the other dresses I have, maybe too nice for the dinner my mom is making. Well, that's all I have. The dress is made of silk and has thin straps. The pink dress looks good on me, and I have to say that I do look good. I hope I don't look too fancy. When I walk out in the dress, Skyla whistles. Wow, girl. Jackson is definitely going to hit me for this. Why? I ask, but Jackson knocks on Skylar's door before he can explain. Kala, we're going to be late if we don't leave now. Jackson stops talking when he sees me at the door. His eyes move from my face, which has a little more makeup on it than usual, to my cleavage, my waist, and finally to the edge of my dress, which is definitely showing a lot of thigh. He clenches his jaw and stares at me, moving his eyes back up my body. It feels like I'm being watched closely. I don't just stand still, I slowly walk toward him. I look back at him with the same intensity. He has a strong jawline because he is holding back, and he is wearing a long-sleeved button-down shirt that fits well and has the sleeves rolled up to his forearms. I look down his body, and I feel confident in the way he looks at me. Skyla has smartly left, so it's just the two of us now. With his werewolf speed, he gets in front of me in a flash and grips my waist with hands that say he'll never let go. You look amazing. He pulls me close and moves a piece of hair out of my face. Alpha, you don't look too bad either. I really don't know where this new bravery is coming from, but the fact that his irises are getting darker shows that he likes it. He says, now, if you keep saying things like that to me, I'll have to bend you over and show you how much of an alpha male I can really be. I bite my lip and try to forget about my wet underwear. But he can tell I'm turned on because of his stupid werewolf senses, and he gives me that perfect stupid grin that shows he knows he's gotten to me. He leans in and kisses the spot on my neck where his mark is, and I shudder against him. To keep myself steady, I have to hold onto the front of his shirt. He kisses my neck all the way up to my ear, and then he whispers to me. But we can't skip dinner. Then the warmth of his body goes away, and when I look up, I see him casually leaning against the door, as if he's been waiting for me. I stomp past him and down the stairs, saying, "You're the worst." Jackson, the evil genius that he is, just laughs at me. We listen to music and talk about nothing and everything at the same time on the way to my house. It's easy to be with him. I never thought I could be this close to someone who isn't family, but I feel like I can tell him anything and he will love me more. Jackson has made me the happiest I've ever been. It's exactly 7 when we pull into my driveway. We got there just in time. I get out of the car and see Jackson opening the back door and taking out a gift that is wrapped nicely. I walk around to his side and ask, "What is that?" "It's just a small gift for your mom. She made dinner, so it's the least I could do." I laugh and say, "Jackson, you've already met her. A lot. You didn't have to buy her anything." He takes my hand and starts to walk me to the house. "I know, but I promised you I wouldn't let you down. If this is what it takes to impress your mom and show her that moving in with me is a good idea, then I want to do everything I can." "Ah, you're so cute." I kiss him on the cheek while standing on my toes. I think I can see the tips of his ears turn pink, but he opens the unlocked door before I can say anything. "Mom, we're home!" I yell from the door. As soon as I smelled the red sauce, I knew she had made her own lasagna. I can't help but think about how good it tastes. Hey, honey. Come into the kitchen, my mom yells from the other room. I hold Jackson's hand and squeeze it when I feel some of his nerves through the bond. We walk hand in hand to find my mom. Up until now, he's been pretty calm, but I think the thought of seeing my mom in such a formal setting has made him a little nervous. I think it's cute that he can beat the crap out of anyone without getting nervous, but he gets nervous before seeing my mom. It makes me love him even more. As we walk into the kitchen, I can tell he's starting to calm down. Is it okay that I made lasagna? My mom asks as she puts the oven mitts she was wearing in a drawer. Sounds perfect, Ms. Dalton, he says like a true gentleman. Please, for the last time, call me Aurora. Okay. Thanks, Aurora. Here's a little gift for you. It's actually for you, Kala, and Maisie. You can all open it when you're together. My mom looks at me funny and doesn't touch the gift. She starts to look around us and at the couch in the living room, but she doesn't seem to find what she's looking for. Are you okay, Mom? As she walks quickly around the house, she mumbles, "They called and told me I didn't need to come." What are you talking about? I don't get why she's so upset, so I hold her shoulders still so she stops walking around the house. Jackson comes up behind me and tries just as hard as I do to figure out why her mood changes so quickly. Her hands are shaking and her eyes are wide open, which makes her look frantic. The daycare called and told me that you picked her up. I need a few seconds to think about what she says. Then it hits me like a train, my mom is talking about Maisie. I didn't pick her up, Mom. As the panic rises, my heart drops to my stomach. This can't be happening. My mom was supposed to pick her up today. We made a schedule over the weekend for who would pick Maisie up on what day. Wednesday is Mom's day. We talked about it. Why wouldn't she call me to make sure I was the one picking her up? And why would the daycare give Maisie to a stranger and say it was me? I don't need to look into her disappearance anymore because I already know what happened. The coven took Maisie. The downward spiral of fear and worry has begun, and even with Jackson's hand on my back, I can't stop breathing heavily. My mom is too busy freaking out to notice how upset I am about Maisie's disappearance, but I bet I'm even more upset than she is. A mother always worries about her kids, but I might be worrying more about Maisie because I know who took her. I was so worried about the coven coming after me that I didn't even think about them coming after my loved ones. I trusted Felix and Elise too much. I should have taken Jackson seriously. He's my friend, and he's lived in this supernatural world his whole life, so he knows better than anyone what they could do. Why did I let my friendship with Felix blind me so much? I trusted him. I had faith in him. And now my sister's life is in danger. If she passes away. Kala, take a deep breath for me, Jackson says, putting his hands on my cheeks and breathing through his nose to get me to do the same. I do, but a sob catches in my throat and I start to sniffle again. Baby, we don't know for sure that the coven took her. He sounds so sure that Maisie is safe, but I can feel how he feels. I've gotten good at going deep into the complicated mess of feelings that are in front of me. At first, it was hard to understand that I was feeling things that weren't coming from my own mind. The only thing that makes me think Mr. Alpha isn't completely sure what he's telling me is that I've learned how to understand it. When my mom picks up the phone and starts mumbling words that are too low and jumbled for me to understand, my anxiety goes through the roof. But I get the idea. She's calling 911. I can't let her do that. I quickly pull the phone away from her, shaking hands, and say, "Mom, you can't call the police." She looks at me with glassy eyes. "Give me the phone, Kala." I know she's really upset and confused by what I've done, and I would be too if I didn't understand why the police wouldn't be able to help. I have to find a way to make my mom believe that Jackson and I are taking care of things, even though I'm crying. Well as a missing 6-year-old can be. "I can't, Mom." Jackson has been pacing the living room the whole time this conversation has been going on, and I'm sure he's been mind-linking with some of the pack to see if anyone knows where Maisie is. He has said that there are wolves outside my house all the time, so it's possible that he has people watching my mom and Maisie. I don't know half of what he does, but I'm glad he's here to help me sort this out. My mom starts yelling at me and tries to take the phone from me. She looks like a mother bear protecting her cubs with her angry eyes. I make a bad choice and throw the phone against the wall. I hear the plastic crack as it breaks apart before it even hits the ground. "Kala, what? What is wrong with you? Your sister is missing, and you won't even let me call the police." She runs past me in a panic looking for her phone. I think she's running to her purse by the front door, but in her panic, she doesn't see that it's right behind her on the kitchen counter. That should give me a few minutes to talk to Jackson. He saw everything that happened with my mom, but he seemed to be out of it. And angry. "Does anyone know?" he says, not even needing to hear the rest of my question. The pack guards I had assigned to Maisie were knocked out. They just woke up, but they don't know what happened or who took her. The tears that are always there are now coming out with more force. He puts his arms around me right away. I'm sure Silk, and not gets on his nice button-up whole shirt, but he doesn't seem to care as he runs his fingers through my hair to calm me down. It would have made me feel better at any other time. Skyla and Ezra are coming here with some of my best warriors. We still don't know if. He stiffens against me, and I'm so shocked that I pull away from him. He doesn't have that far-off look in his eyes that he usually has when he's mind-linking someone. Instead, he's staring at the wall. Maisie's play area, where her toys and drawings are, is where the colorful drawings are taped to the walls. I remember her telling me once that it made her feel like she had her own art gallery. Jackson runs across the room and tears up one of her pictures. I don't understand for 2 seconds until I see what Maisie drew. It reminds me of the afternoon a few weeks ago when Maisie first showed me the picture. I finally get to see Maisie's drawings after the three of us have dinner. The pony is lavender and has rainbow hair. The fairy woman has long black hair and a red dress. To be honest, Maisie might want to be a fashion designer when she grows up. The dress had a low V-neck and a slit up the right leg, so I would have bought it even though the drawing was clearly done by a 6-year-old. I would buy it. Maisie told a very clear story about how the fairy floated through the air in a blue bubble. I agree that she must have flown down in a blue bubble like Glinda did in The Wizard of Oz. It's pointless for me to tell her that her imagination isn't real. I can't destroy her dreams. I remember the day Maisie drew this picture, and it all makes sense now. Maisie didn't make up the meeting with the fairy, she just chose the wrong made-up creature to compare it to. Now that I look at the picture again, the blue bubble around the woman with black hair is the same color as the portals that Felix and Elise make. This looks just like their magic. I cry with my hand over my mouth. I should have known this would happen. I should have known. She showed me this picture weeks ago. How come I didn't know? Marlowe, Jackson growls as he crushes the picture in his big hand. Who? I cry, barely able to say anything at this point. My mom comes back into the room with two big guys following her. I have to blink a few times to see that it's Skyla and Ezra. Skyla runs right up to me and hugs me, promising that we'll find Maisie and bring her home safe and sound. Ezra, on the other hand, goes straight to Jackson, who just grumbles and points to the wrinkled drawing of a child. I ask Skyla, who's Marlowe, hoping he'll tell me more. I think she's the woman in the drawing, but she must be very important if Jackson can tell who she is from a crayon drawing of her. Skyla opens his eyes wide and looks at the Alpha and Beta, who are talking about plans right now. He swallows and looks back at me. That means it's the witches if they talked about her. Marlowe is the head of Felix and Elisa's coven. She killed Jackson's father and made his mother so sad that she had to leave Redwood. That's why he's such a young alpha. I turn to Jackson, who looks like he's about to change. I want to go to him, but I know that seeing me like this could make him lose it, and I really need his comfort. When I'm looking for my sister, I need him to be clear-headed. I can't believe he never told me what happened to his parents, and it was all because of this coven. It's easy to see why he hates the twins so much. I wish he had told me. If I had known, I would have been more careful with them. I tried to give him room to talk to me without pushing him, but look where that got us. He got mad at me for not trusting him, but he doesn't trust me either. I put that issue aside for now and will deal with it later. I need to put all of my energy into finding Maisie. I can put my relationship problems on hold. My mother is standing in the living room, confused, in the middle of all this mess. Why is Skyla and this other guy here? Kala, this is a serious family matter. I don't know where your sister is. She stops talking when she sees her phone. I run to the counter and grab it before she can get to it. My tears have stopped now. I need to calm down and think clearly about this. How can I get my mom to believe that a group of college students is more likely to find Maisie than the police? Give me the phone. I try to get out of my mom's way when she reaches for her phone. In her hurry, she grabs my wrist and pulls it toward her. At this point, I know she's completely losing it. She's scared, angry, and confused. People do crazy things when they're scared. That's why I don't get mad at her when she twists my wrist too hard to get the phone. I let out a small cry of pain when I felt the ligaments in my left wrist stretch and strain. The phone hits the floor and cracks, but it's probably still working. I hold my wrist against my chest. It's already a little red. My mom seems confused by what she's doing, but she's so worried about Maisie that she pushes it away and picks up the phone anyway. A loud growl echoes through the house, and she freezes in place. She looks at something behind me, and her eyes get bigger. It must be my angry werewolf boyfriend. I turn just in time to see his clothes rip. His fingers turn into paws, his nose gets longer and his canines get longer. The whole thing happens in just a few seconds, but it's so interesting to watch. Sometimes I forget how strong he is. With just one bite or scratch, he could tear someone apart. And right now, he's taking out his anger on my mom. Ezra knows how overprotective Jackson must be feeling, so he rushes in front of him, still in his human form, and grabs his furry neck to stop him from hurting my mom. At the same time, my mom forgets about the phone and pays attention to Jackson, who was a man a few seconds ago but is now a raging beast. She screams and pulls me back by my upper arm. She puts me behind her and grabs a kitchen knife that she used to make lasagna with before and holds it up to protect us. She forgets what happened between us a few minutes ago and her motherly instincts take over. Jackson keeps thrashing around, scratching at Ezra and Skyla, who are trying to hold him back. He stares at me and growls. I think this growl means I'm coming for you. Jackson. Calm down. She's fine. Ezra tries to talk some sense into him, but I know that I'm the only one who can calm him down. Mom, please let me go. Absolutely not. Did you see that? He's a monster. Kala, stay behind me. My mom holds the knife out, and in a calmer situation, it could be funny that she was holding it up to a werewolf. Mom, he won't hurt me. He's just mad because you hurt me and he thinks it's his fault that Maisie is missing, I say. My mom's face goes from scared to angry. You mean? You knew he was? I nod and tell her to stay back, but she quickly grabs my hand to keep me safe with her. Unfortunately, she grabs the hand she probably hurt, which makes me wince. It makes Jackson even angrier. Wolf Jackson thrashes around even more, and for a moment he gets away from Ezra's grip. But Skyla catches him again. He has two of them on top of him, and the only reason they're still alive is because Jackson knows they're part of his pack. I can see cuts and claw marks on both Ezra and Skyla, and I know they won't be able to hold on for much longer. The wolf on the other side of the room makes my mom shake. Ezra yells, "We can't hold him forever, Kala," and then grunts when Jackson knocks his head to the side with his own. Skyla says, "Take your sweet time, Kala." I look at my mom. Please, Mom. I know you don't understand what's going on, but I need you to trust me. There's a lot you don't understand, but please, please let me go to him. She seems very unsure of herself, but when she nods and gives me the knife, something in her resolve breaks. I shake my head and let her keep it. She doesn't say anything as I walk across the room, and tears stream down her face. I know how she feels because I felt the same way when I found out what Jackson was. It's good to know that my reaction was pretty normal. As soon as I get to Jackson, he stops thrashing. He stands on all fours and is about the same height as me. He starts to lick my hurt wrist right away. I let him act like a wolf. Ezra and Skyla let him go and stand back, in between Jackson and my mom, just in case he gets mad again. He whines and smells my hair. I stroked him with my right hand and then hugged him tightly. Jackson, please don't hurt my mom. It was an accident. I need you to help me find my sister. He growls, but not at me, he growls at the situation. I can tell that he is mad at himself and feels bad about what he did. Don't go there, it's not your fault, I say. I look at my mom, and Jackson huffs at her, clearly still not happy with her. Mom, I know this is all very confusing. I was scared when I first found out too. I'll explain everything to you as soon as we find Maisie. But you need to understand that the police can't help us find her, and the longer we stay here, the longer she's out there alone. A group of witches and warlocks took her, and Jackson and his pack were our only chance of getting her back. So please let us handle this. My mom shakes where she stands, still looking at the big wolf behind me with caution. I let out a sigh and then look at Jackson. Can you please move back? It's easier for me to do this with you as a person. I groan and go up the stairs, remembering that he shifts without clothes on. Please don't do anything stupid. I run upstairs and look through my drawers. I take off the cute but too fancy dress I was wearing and put on sweats and a t-shirt. I grab a pair of shorts that Jackson left here just for this kind of situation and run down the stairs. It took a lot longer than I wanted because moving my wrist hurt too much. When I get back, everyone is still in the same place. Jackson quickly moves and puts on the shorts. He gently holds my wrist and pokes it to see how bad it is. He says he's sorry and gives my mom a mean look when I win CE. They got along well, but I guess that's over now. My mom does look guilty, but she's mostly just scared. Kala, 6 guards are coming to keep you and your mom safe. Jackson says mom in a way that makes it sound like it hurts him. I'm taking a group of warriors to the Coven's base, where I think they took Maisie. We already had wolves getting into their private security and communications, so getting in shouldn't be too hard. I'll do whatever it takes to get your sister back. I promise I'll find her. I wipe my eyes and nod. A few seconds later, I started to think about everything he said. Wait, I say. I'm not going to sit here while you go out there and put your life in danger for my sisters. I'm going with you. Not at all. It's not a request, Jackson. They took Maisie because they wanted me. If I go with you, then maybe they'll let her go and take me instead, and no. You're staying here where it's safe. Don't argue with me about it. You won't win. He does the alpha thing, where he clenches his jaw and stares at me with his dilated eyes. I don't give in like he thinks I will. Going with you is the best way. He tries to cut me off, but I talk over him. I won't really turn myself in, but if I go in alone, the pack can sneak in and get Maisie out of there safely while their guard is down. If we act like you guys can't get past their defenses, they won't expect an attack. While I'm keeping them busy, you go in and surround them. He thinks with his eyes closed. It's hard to tell what he's thinking because his feelings are all over the place. Ezra says, "You know it's the best plan we have." I almost forgot he was still around. Jackson growls and stares at him. Ezra says, "I know what it's like to have your friend in danger. Do you remember all the crap I had to deal with to keep Skyla safe?" Skyla nods and smiles sheepishly. I don't know anything about Skylar's life before he met Ezra. I need to hear another story when we have more time. I get it, Jackson. This is the best way to keep people from getting hurt, and you know it. They'll be distracted. We'll have eyes and ears on the place the whole time. When she surrenders, he air quotes, it will be exactly what they expect. They won't be ready for a full-blown battle. We will be. Jackson grunts and then pulls me close to him. I know this is hard for him, but I know that the coven likes to show off. Felix has told me stories about his coven and what it was like to grow up there. I hate him right now for betraying me, but I still believe all of those horrible stories. Now I just think he liked all of the things he pretended to hate. My mom and I both jump when we hear a lot of footsteps in the house. It's just the warriors, Jackson says softly. I feel better right away because I know we're not being attacked. He starts barking orders at them, and his outside quickly changes to that of the proud alpha of the Blackthorn pack. When the wind blows my hair back, he stops giving orders. I get tense when I remember that there shouldn't be a breeze inside. That can only mean one thing. I turn around and see Felix. His blue portal light fades away in seconds. He finds my eyes right away. We need to talk. A lot can happen in just a few seconds. It's the amount of time it takes me to take a full breath. Jackson wants to know how long it takes to punch Felix in the face and then start choking him. It's enough time for my mom to scream. It's funny that no one tries to stop Jackson. He curses Felix under his breath, but he doesn't seem to care if he lives or dies. He gives him a look of anger that says he holds his life in his hands. A small part of me is saying, what if? What if Felix didn't know that his coven's plan all along was to take Maisie? What if he's just a pawn in the big chess game that Marlowe has been playing? Along with the soft whispers of that voice, there was another voice inside me that screamed for Felix to pay for putting my 6-year-old sister in danger and for betraying me and my pack. I walk over to Felix, who is still trying to catch his breath. I bend down in front of him and tilt my head to the side. Why did you do that? He wheezes, what? And can barely catch his breath to answer me. Why did you trick me? I defended you and trusted you, but you still gave my sister to your group of monsters, I say with a sneer. Was it a game to you? To see how much you can break me? You tried to tear me away from my mate, but that didn't work, so you go after my sister instead. No, Kala, he groans. I didn't know. Elise tricked me too. He coughs as he grips the strong hand around his throat. As he runs out of breath, his face turns a shade of purple. Jackson, I whisper, letting him know that I want to hear Felix out. I don't believe him, but I want to hear what he has to say. He might make a mistake and say something we can use against the coven. Jackson lets go of Felix's throat just enough for him to be able to breathe again. You so much as say a word about any magic spell, he growls, letting his claws dig into Felix's neck, and I'll kill you. Felix turns pale. Got the message? I see my mom in the corner of the room for a second, watching me talk to a magical man she's never met. I can only guess how scared and lost she is. Skyla seems to be keeping an eye on her, which is good. Kala, I swear I didn't know about the plan until it started. I had no idea they were going after Maisie until she was in our area. When my mom hears her daughter's name, she starts to cry, but I keep my mind on Felix. I want to believe him, but I've been hurt too many times to trust him. I can't trust him anymore. I look at Jackson, who just nods, knowing that I've learned not to trust a warlock. I don't believe you, I say. Felix is moving around like crazy, as if he knows he's going to die. Jackson just holds on tighter to his neck, and one of his claws breaks the skin. Felix stops moving as a drop of blood runs down his pale skin. Now, here's what's going to happen, Jackson says as he gets up and starts to pull Felix over to Ezra, who is only grinning in a bad way. My beta is going to make you tell him everything you know about this coven of yours. Only then will you be given the mercy of death. That is, if you cooperate. Ezra cracks his knuckles as he thinks of the best ways for Felix to scream. Wait. I'm the only way you're going to get your sister back. I know how to get in and out of their group and what their weaknesses are. I'll tell you everything you want to know and more, but please. Kala, please. I have proof she's safe. I've seen her. I watch as Jackson pulls Felix across the floor of my living room, to Ezra, who would take Felix back to the pack house as a prisoner and do who knows what to him to get the information we need. I can hear Felix's shoes squeaking as he tries to find something to hold onto to keep him here. I can hear him begging and pleading. I can't believe I've already talked. Hold on. I can't help but want to hear what he has to say. We might not have to trust him if he can get to Maisie and show us proof. We might just have to believe that his survival instincts are stronger than his desire to put the pack and Maisie in danger. Have you seen Maisie since they took her? Felix turns around to face Jackson. Felix looks as relieved as he can be with an alpha's hand around his throat. Ezra looks sad that he might not get to Felix. Sometimes, he scares me. I've seen her, Felix says, slowly reaching into his pocket to show us something instead of killing us. When I see a little butterfly clip in Felix's hand, I let out a small sob. I took it from her when no one was looking. I wanted to show you that I saw her so you would believe me when I say she's fine. Jackson takes the little hair clip from Felix and gives it to a guard next to him. The guard then puts it in my hand, which is not hurt. I remember getting this clip for Maisie. We were at the mall shopping when she pulled me into justice. I complained and groaned about having to go shopping with her, but I secretly liked spending time with her, even if it was doing something I didn't want to do. The clip was bought at the last minute. It was one of those things by the cashier that is in just the right spot so that any little kid would whine until their parent added it to the pile. She liked how shiny it was. I know I have to do everything I can to get her back and save my little sister from the heartless coven now that I see the blue and purple sparkles on the clip. I angrily wipe away a tear and clip it to the waistband of my pants. Go ahead and tell us how to get Maisie back if you really mean it. Jackson seems unsure about asking these kinds of questions, but if it means avoiding violence and saving time, why not try to hear Felix out? Only a few people can portal into the main house, he says carefully. I'm one of them. If you take your hand off my neck, I'll tell you what I know. Not a chance, Jackson growls, his grip on Felix getting tighter as his eyes darken with hidden rage. Felix gasps, worth a shot, as he tries to get the wolf's fingers off of him. The coven has been putting on a show for a long time. When Beckham was alpha, the war between the coven and the wolves was at its height. Jackson didn't show it, but I could feel his sadness and anger when I said his father's name. Beckham made the coven a lot weaker, more than you know. A witch or warlock can have two kinds of magic, offensive and defensive. Elise and I both have offensive magic, which means we're the strongest in the coven after our leader, Marlowe. We're the only three with this kind of magic. There are only 3 people who can use magic between my sister and me. It doesn't look like that many. If we can get past their shields, we can easily sneak in and get Maisie as long as we stay away from the other 2 witches. If you can believe Felix. I can see that Jackson is thinking. That must be why my warriors told me they saw them but didn't attack. Your coven isn't ready for an attack. They can't beat Blackthorn. Jackson smirks at the news, and for the first time since I found out Maisie was taken, I feel hope growing. That's right. The 3 of us could do a lot of damage, but Marlowe knew I was friends with you, Calla. She knew I would never fight against you or the pack, so she had the others beat me to teach me a lesson. That sounds familiar. Felix called me because he could barely get to an empty warehouse across town. He was hurt so badly and had so many infections that I had to take him to the hospital because he wasn't allowed to heal himself. All of that was to keep me safe. She almost killed you, I say in a low voice. Only because I let her, Felix says. She wanted me to come back to her, beg her to heal me, and promise my loyalty to the coven. She knew I was powerful, but I wasn't strong enough to fight her. I refused to go back. I knew Elise was my only hope, but I didn't want them to do to her what they did to me. So you called me. He shakes his head. If what you're saying is true and you want to help my friend, Jackson asks, then how do we get past the wards? We had a plan, but it seems like the easiest thing to do is to turn them off completely. Felix nods, looking more at ease in Jackson's grip now that he knows he's useful and more trusted. There are 2 kinds of magic, as I said. The other coven members only have defensive magic, but I have both. I can easily disable the wards long enough for some pack members to get inside, but that's where the problem lies. Ezra ends with, "We'll get in, but not without being seen." He has been paying close attention to what everyone else is saying and only now adds his own thoughts. "Yet," Felix says with a frown. "Marlowe will know right away that I turned off the wards, so you need to hurry. You need to find a way to distract her before you try to beat her and get Maisie back." I ask, "How would we do that?" "Easy," Felix says with a smile. "We're using you as bait." After Jackson choked a little more, argued, and complained, they came up with a plan. It's dangerous, and Jackson doesn't want me to put myself in danger, but he reluctantly agrees that this is the best way to get Maisie and get rid of the coven threat for good. Felix is telling Ezra, Skyla, and the other warriors who are there about the layout of the main house so they can get in more easily. Jackson pulls me aside while they're talking about their plans. He hugs me and says, "I really don't like this." I sigh and wrap my arms around his neck. It feels good to be in my mate's arms. I see my mom shaking her head as she turns down a glass of water from one of the pack members behind him. I move away from Jackson, who only loosens his grip on me a little. I say, "I need to talk to my mom," and I look at her. I can almost see the worry, like a jumbled mess of fears and thoughts floating around her. Jackson gives me a nod and lets me go. "Come back here when you're done." I smile at him a little. A clingy werewolf. As soon as my mom sees me coming, she stands up and hugs me. There are a lot of hugs going on today. I do everything I can to make her feel better, remembering how scared and alone I was when I first learned about the supernatural. What's going on? Are you really going to fight a group of witches with werewolves? I feel like I'm in one of your books, my mom says. I'm really glad she's making fun of it. At least she's not shaking, screaming, or crying, even if it's a defense mechanism. Moving forward. I say with a smile, it has felt that way. She smiles at me softly until she sees my wrist, which I'm holding in my hand. The redness has spread even more, and even a little movement makes needles of pain dance along my wrist. I'm so sorry, honey, my mom says with tears in her eyes. I was trying to get the phone from your hand. I didn't mean to grab your wrist so hard. Now you're hurt. I don't even, Mom, I say, I know. I don't blame you for being scared and confused. Maisie's gone, and you have every right to freak out. I didn't know how to stop you from calling the cops. I shouldn't have hurt you. You're my baby, my grown-up, college-aged, and mature baby. I hug my mom and put all of my feelings into it. I told her the truth, I'm not angry with her. I know she will still feel bad about it, even though it was an accident. When I pull away from the hug, my wrist lightly hits her shoulder, which makes me wince too loudly. I grit my teeth and say I'm sorry out loud as all the werewolves in the room look at me. I sometimes forget that they can hear even the quietest sounds. The small wince could have been a loud alarm, since Jackson came straight to me even though he was in the middle of something with his warriors. He gently grabs my wrist and looks at the damage. My mom only slightly avoids him. Do you have something we can use to wrap this up? He asks my mom, who looks both guilty and scared at the same time. I don't think she forgot that he went crazy and wanted to jump on her not too long ago. I have something in the upstairs closet. I can go get it. Felix says, no need, as he waltzes over to us. My 3 pack guards are keeping a close eye on him and are ready to attack if he even hints at using magic. I'm still not sure about him. I don't believe him. He's kept too much from me. But I know he's my best chance to get Maisie, so I'll work with him. Later, we'll work on our friendship if there's anything left. Felix reaches for my hand, which Jackson is holding, but as soon as he does, a guard grabs it and twists it behind his back. Ow, I was going to heal your Luna. No need to be so handsy. Felix rolls his eyes and pushes the werewolf away. The werewolf lets him go, but only after Jackson gives him a small nod. Felix opens and closes his hand to get it moving again, and then he slowly reaches for my hand again. When Jackson growls, my mom hides from him and Felix laughs. Chill, Alpha, Felix says in a mocking tone, do you want Kala to be in pain? Felix must know exactly what to say to make Jackson mad. I think Jackson is angry that he is the only reason I can't get rid of the pain, but he also doesn't trust Felix not to do something. Go ahead, Felix, I say. I know I can't go into the Coven's lair with a sprained wrist right now. Also, Felix wouldn't try anything with so many wolves around him unless he wanted to die. He can't beat the pack. Jackson lets Felix take my hand this time. Jackson still has one hand on my hip, maybe to remind me that he is in charge and my protector. Felix works while I lean my head against his chest. The magic that heals feels strange. He only says a few words softly before blue magic wraps around my wrist and sinks into my skin. I can almost feel the blue mist, which is so cold it hurts, working through my bones and ligaments and fixing the damage. This magic is nothing like the spell he put on me to make me sleep. That one felt evil and frozen, but this one feels almost new. It only takes a few seconds for my wrist to feel better. I mumble thanks and move my wrist back and forth, noticing how normal it feels. Felix agrees. I hope you know that this doesn't make up for the fact that your sister took mine. I know it doesn't. I trusted you, I say softly. I trusted Elise, which was obviously a mistake. I thought she had changed as much as I had, but I guess I was wrong. I know it's my fault for letting her into the pack house and getting close to you. But I promise, Felix says, looking straight into my eyes, I will get your sister back no matter what. I nod, wipe away the tears I didn't even know I had, and look at Jackson. Are you ready? Jackson looks at me and smiles. Let's go save Maisie. It was hard to say goodbye to my mom. She cried and begged me to stay with her. She said she didn't want to lose both of her daughters and wished there was a different way to get Maisie back. She knew the choice was made when I shook my head quickly. Also, she couldn't have stopped me because I'm surrounded by werewolves who do what I say. The pack turns into wolves, and I ride on Jackson's back as he takes us to the edges of the coven's main house. This gives me a lot of time to think about the mistakes I've made in the past. It feels like forever since I found out what Jackson really looked like, and even longer since we met. It's so silly to think about how scared I was of him back then. He could never hurt me or anyone he loves. He has done so much for me, and now that we have Maisie back, it's time for me to start doing things for him. As soon as I get Maisie back, I'll start learning what it means to be a Luna. I can be the leader of one of North America's strongest werewolf packs and still do my schoolwork. No problem. Okay, it's not easy peasy, but I want to be closer to the group for Jackson. They act like a family and do whatever it takes to keep each other safe. They didn't think twice about following Jackson's orders to help save my little sister. They didn't do it because he's their leader, they did it because they love and respect him. The closer we get to the main house, the more scared I feel. Will we make it there on time? Will Felix have enough power to undo the wards? Will we be enough? Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.